Hi again. Another pre-season walkabout. Today I'm at the Offord and Buckden waters at Offord Cluny. I'm standing with my back to what they call the car park pool, which is a fairly static piece of water, favoured recently by the carp anglers. But you'll see it's pretty well covered with lily pads. There are some sort of open spots where the swims have been cut out, the lilies have been cleared, but there appears to be cabbage on the bottom as well, so not a very enticing prospect. But anyway, I'm going to have a walk around. So there's sort of different sort of types of water here. There's sort of cuts, more like canals. There's the mill stream, which is a sort of fast stretch of water. So I'm going to have a look around and just see what it looks like as part of my pre-season evaluation. Right, let's get going. Yeah, this is the top of the car park pool. This spot here is reasonably clear compared to with some of the others further down the pool, and that's a small sort of sluice weir that feeds into it. Behind that weir is what they call the top cut, which is like a canal section. Yeah, so let's move on, shall we? I'm standing on the bridge over that weir now. Gives you a view of the whole of the car park pool. Fairly clear at this end, but further down pretty congested. It sort of turns to the right at the end there and joins the main river, which is over to our right. But it's favoured, as I say, with the carp anglers, and I believe there are good tench in here, but like all river tench, not easy to catch. And on the other side of the bridge is what they call the top cut or top stream. I'm not sure now, one or the other, where I've caught some nice perch. Another view of the top stream. This spot here is where I fished a couple of times, and on one occasion I was catching perch after perch, and I had one really nice one among them. Unfortunately, on a couple of other occasions when I've come and tried to repeat it, it's a lot of trains here. Yeah, when I've tried to repeat my perch success, I haven't been at all successful, so it's obviously a bit dependent on whether the perch are feeding or perhaps just on the weather, I don't know. Anyway, so that's the top stream, which you can see goes down there, and there are swims among all that undergrowth down there. This is the main river. The car park pool is now on our left and joins the main river just before that bridge down there, which is the road bridge. Looking quite good, actually. We're now on what is effectively an island between the main river, which is behind me, and this is the car park pool viewed from the other side. The attraction of the swims over this side is, on a hot day, you get a lot of shade. I did fish this next spot coming up, not very successfully, and I had a pretty disastrous day on that occasion. Everything that could go wrong sort of did go wrong. But I had spoken to a chap who was fishing it on a previous occasion, and he lost the tench. So it's the sort of spot that might be worth considering if it's free. On the first day of the season it may not be, but the point being is that the water's, not too congested with weed, and as I say, you've got the benefit of trees behind, which gives you a bit of shade if it's going to be a very hot day. Still on the island, this always looks a very attractive spot. There's not a great deal of flow today, but when there is, it's more of an eddy, quite a strong back eddy on the inside here. And I have caught a chub on one occasion here. It's very, very deep, but on subsequent trips I didn't succeed. But again, it's on the island, it's in shade, so sort of maybe worth considering in the warmer weather. Another nice looking pitch on the island. By the way, everything you've seen so far is day ticket. For non-members, it's all day ticket. What they call a car park pool, and there's another section over the road called the Triangle, is day ticket. Yeah, be a bit busier on Monday probably, and thereafter. I'll just walk a little way along the top stream. I tried this, I think it was last year. I tried a spot here early on in the season. I'm not sure if it was the first day or not, to be honest, but I didn't get a thing. Complete and utter blank. And that was with maggots as well, which absolutely amazed me. But this is the spot I fished, and I've seen other people fish here, so it's probably just me. Yeah, it looked so inviting. Got absolutely nothing. A lot of cabbage and lilies and that, and a fair bit of flow really. It sort of goes down to the lock. But as I say, I'm not sure I'm going to try it again because I completely blanked. I didn't spend all the session here. I gave up and I moved, but yeah, I didn't do very well. This path will take us up to the lock. I've just left the top stream and I'm just walking down towards the lock. Very pleasant, very quiet. I've seen one dog walker so far. As I say, maybe a bit busier after the 16th. Right, we're just walking onto the triangle. Sits below the lock. This is always a popular spot when the river's in flood, because providing the lock isn't open to allow extra water through, then it's obviously still water. So, as I say, quite popular at certain times. Well, that's over there is where the mill stream comes back in to join the river. There's a heron sitting on that platform. See if I can zoom. Yeah. Difficult to hold the camera still when it's on zoom. Expert angler. Yeah, so anyway, that's where the mill stream comes in. And lock cutting to our left. You can see the lock sign over there. This is the point of the triangle. So on the left you've got the lock cutting or the mill stream outflow, and on the right you've got the main river. I've fished here a few times and managed to chub, I think, on one occasion, and I lost one on another, or it came off. But I tend to fish it, if I fish it at all, when the river's running a bit, because you get the fast flow coming down on the right from the main river, but on the left it's often much more sedate, and you get a crease between the two, and that's where I got the chub. But as I say, I think I fished it 3 times but only succeeded once, so it's by no means a sure bet. Still on the triangle, main river. I'm not sure this camera's necessarily picking it up. If I zoom in you may see it a bit better, but you see there's an awful lot of weed in the water. So bottom fishing would be challenging, to say the least. Perhaps once you get past the sort of middle there may be some clear water, but I'm not sure. I tried long trotting from this spot in the winter, but unsuccessfully. It looks ideal for the purpose, but it didn't work. Well, I trotted down, but I didn't catch much, or anything, I don't think, from memory. The session was interrupted when a pike guy turned up on the bank to the left and started casting a lure across. So if there was any chance, that was soon extinguished. But it looks a perfect spot, doesn't it, to trot a float down. Absolutely perfect. I've fished here a couple of times when the river's been running high and fast, because there's a natural slack between these two trees. Caught a few roach from memory, and I remember when I was winding one small fishing, something went for it which looked very much like a large perch. But yeah, interesting little spot, and you can sit on the tree trunk. Yeah. Again, it's in the shade, which on certain days that's a great advantage. It all looks so inviting, doesn't it? Although there's a lot of weed under the surface there, which you may not be able to see on this camera, but it looks inviting. Anyway, we're sort of leaving the triangle now. That's the road bridge over there, and that's the club's car park over there. So we've walked around the triangle. So what I'm going to do now is make my way over to the chub stream, see what that's looking like. Yeah, so let's get going. Here's a view of the car park pool on the right, behind that tree, the outflow of it, and the main river on the left, the weir up there at the top. I'm on the road bridge, so we're going to get a bit of car noise, I'm afraid. Yeah, so yeah, I think the spot down there by that danger sign is probably one of the carp spots, if I can put it that way. The enthusiasts. Here's the map of the club's waters. We've done the car park pool and the triangle, and we went on to what they call Sismy Island, and along a bit of the top stream. Didn't look at D section or E section. You actually access those by going down from the mill stream, and I doubt if I'll go along there. And the A, B and C sections, you need to go down the Marina Road, which is a private road, and the parking down there is a bit hostile for my car. It's very uneven, and so I won't be driving down there, but the C section is in particular quite popular. Just had another car go past. But the C, B, A sections, sorry, doing it the wrong way around, aren't I? A, B, C sections, the mill stream, D and E sections, all members only. So yeah, there's also, you see there a thing called the New Cut. We may have a quick look in there, which is just like a canal really, very heavily weeded. Anyway, so that's it. But as I say, other than the car park pool and the triangle area, it's members only. Well, here we are at the mill stream, which is my favourite spot, and that's probably why I joined the club, just to fish this stream. Unfortunately, we're on a bridge here which is very narrow, and the cars can only just get past with me standing here, so it's not the best. But the interesting thing is down there, it's just chock-a-block with chub. Really chock-a-block with chub. Yeah, really nice chub down there on the gravel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 9 chub down there on that gravel. Yeah. That's what we're after. This is a spot that's been cleared out also more recently. I actually tried fishing it last year. I ended up falling over into the reeds and getting rather wet, but that was after the hip operation and I wasn't particularly stable. But the problem is, of course, you can fish it, but it's not easy. Fishing over the top of the reeds, and when you hook a chub down there, if you're fishing from upstream like this, and it's happened to me at least twice, if not more, they can go left or right into these reed banks, and there's not much you can do to stop them. So you may hook one, but you can't always get it in. So it's all a bit challenging. But there we go. You can actually fish from here down into that gap where the chub are, which I've done on a number of occasions. But again, I've lost fish because you've got to get them back up, and they've got plenty of refuge on the way up. So yeah, it's quite tantalising really. As I say, if you want to walk down and wade in the river, then it becomes much simpler. The club have created access points along this mill stream, but they've not been too dramatic about it, so they've kept the nature of the riverbank looking quite good. You know, it's not completely obliterating everything, which I've seen in some places, but yeah, it's quite sensibly done, as I say. As I say, there's a number of these spots along here which you can dip into, and to be honest, this centre section here, it's not a very long stream. This centre section has been where I've caught the most chub. It's become more difficult in the last few years because the trees on the other side have encroached a lot more onto this side, which makes fishing it quite challenging. There's some big chub in here, but like all the other streams, or the streams I visited earlier this week, use my favourite word again, challenging. See the whipple over there. This is a spot I fish quite a lot actually, and with varying success, but I don't know if you can see it on this camera. I'll zoom in. There's a fairly tasty chub down there, and I've spotted them here in the close season before. Lost sight of it now because the light's changed. But they don't hang around, of course, once the anglers appear. Oh, I've lost sight of it. It just swam into near the bank there. If I walk down there, it'll definitely go. But I've seen on a previous occasion in the close season 2 or 3 chub sort of basking in that shallows there. No, I don't know where it went, but it was definitely there when we arrived. But it probably spooked it, even though I'm hardly moving. That's the thing with chub. You spook them, they don't hang around. I'm walking down a very steep bank here, so if the camera's bobbling a bit, that's why. Ah, I just saw one swim off. I don't know if you caught it on the camera. It's difficult to know what the camera's catching. I've actually lost chub here going into these left-hand weed banks and things. That's the other thing. They're not daft, the old chub. Anyway, I'll just have a quick walk along to what they call a new cut. I think that chub's still out there. Yeah. See if I can zoom back in. I think it's coming back towards me. I don't know if you can see it. It's so difficult to know what the camera picks up. Yeah, it's just down there. What I thought was a chub is actually a pike. I've moved a bit closer and I can see its rear dorsal fin at the back, and yeah, it wasn't a chub, it's a pike. So, there you go. It's fairly clear now. I think even the camera will pick it up. Right, so that explains that. But there are in fact chub moving around on that gravel over the far side, but you probably can't see them. They're not particularly big, but there's definitely chub moving around on that gravel. Yeah. They'll all disappear after Monday. Oh, got that one. I can actually see that myself on the camera. Yeah. This is the River, popular with many. There'll be big bream out there in the slacker water if you cast right over there, and there are some decent chub in here. Interestingly, there was a note on Facebook on the club page saying that there was a marker here that the swim had been reserved for the first day of the season, but it disappeared. Well, it's not here now. It's worth mentioning the club do allow you to book a swim. I haven't seen any other notices so far in the places I've walked, so it doesn't appear to be any of the swims I've visited been booked. But to be fair, they're probably down on the C section. C section is the most popular, I think, which is, as I said earlier, down the end of the Marina Road. Yeah, this is the new cut. As I say, it's very much like a canalised section, lots of weed, very challenging to fish. I've never tried it. Yeah, perhaps walk along a bit, see if there's anything a bit more inviting. There is not particularly inviting. As I said earlier, there's a D and E section. You have to cross over this new cut. There's a bridge down here, and takes you round to there. But I only ever looked there when I first joined the club, and I've not fished it. It's quite a walk really, because we're a fair way from the car park. But this is shallow and it's weedy and probably teeming with tench, but not very inviting really. Okay. Well, that's it for Offord and Buckden. As I explained on the way round, I certainly haven't visited all the stretches. in particular the C section, which is very popular with the members. But it gives you a taste. It's a nice varied selection of waters the club have, and the club's actually become quite popular. I think they've gained quite a few new members over the last few years. So anyway, so gives me something else to think about for when I come out. Yeah, I'm sitting on the fence a bit. I don't know what to do really, but I'll sort of digest it over the weekend and make a decision. Anyway, thanks for watching as usual, and hope you enjoyed it. It's not fishing, but it's the nearest thing to fishing as you can get, I think. Anyway, bye for now, and cheers. I've bought a ticket for the Blunham club this season. I bought it because I fancied having a go at the River Ivel. I fished it as a teenager with my London fishing club, and I fancied having a go there. I looked at it in the winter, and it looked really good, but when I went there on this occasion, like the other streams that I visited earlier in the week, I'm afraid the weed problem is quite severe. So I may give it a try in the summer, but more likely I'll wait to the autumn winter to have a bit of a go there. Anyway, I thought I'd just tack these photos on the end rather than taking yet another video. Right, so that's definitely it now. Next video will be a fishing video, I hope, anyway, and maybe with some fish if I'm lucky. So until then, bye for now and cheers.